All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to talk about a feeling that I think we all know, that feeling that you just can't have it all. And it turns out that simple idea explains almost everything about our economy. We're going to look at trade-offs, the surprising magic of trade, and how it all weaves together in the market. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's that choice between going out with friends or saving that cash for later, or deciding if you're going to spend your Saturday relaxing or finally getting that big project done. You just can't do everything at once. Well, guess what? That feeling that you can't have everything you want isn't just a part of daily life. It is literally the starting point for the entire field of economics. So today, we're going to unpack exactly what that means for every single one of us. Okay, so let's start right there with this fundamental economic problem. At its very heart, it's all about understanding why every little choice we make actually matters a lot. It all comes down to one really powerful word: scarcity. See, our wants are pretty much endless, but the resources we have to get those things, our time, our money, our energy, are definitely not. And because of that gap, we're forced to make choices, and every single choice means you're making a trade-off. And hey, this isn't just about us as individuals. Think about a huge company like Toyota. They've only got so much factory space, so many workers, and so much equipment. If they decide they're going to crank out more Corollas, well, those same resources can't be used to build Lexus SUVs at the same time. That's a trade-off, plain and simple. So how do economists actually visualize these kinds of trade-offs? Well, they have this really cool tool for it, and it's called the Production Possibilities Frontier. Sounds complicated, but it's not. Just think of the PPF as a map of what's possible for you. It draws a curve showing you every single combination of two things, let's say cars and trucks, that a company can produce efficiently with the resources it has right now. If you're on that curve, you're running at peak efficiency. Inside the curve, you're slacking. And outside the curve, that's impossible, at least for now. Now here's the cool part. Moving from one point to another on that curve shows you the real cost of any decision. And it's not about money. It's what we call opportunity cost. It's the next best thing you had to give up to get the thing you wanted. This idea plays out in huge, real-world ways. For example, provincial governments spend a massive chunk of their budgets, like 40%, on healthcare. And as the population gets older, the demand just keeps rising. So why not just pour more money into it? Well, scarcity. The opportunity cost of more healthcare funding could mean less money for schools or for fixing our roads. You always have to give up something. Okay, but all these trade-offs lead us to this really fascinating paradox. And to get it, let's just shrink the entire global economy down to just two people, you and your neighbor. Imagine you both spend a week picking fruit. In 1 week, you can pick 20 pounds of apples or 20 pounds of cherries. Your neighbor, though, she's a superstar. In that same week, she can pick 30 pounds of apples or a mind-blowing 60 pounds of cherries. So let's just be totally clear about this. Your neighbor has what economists call an absolute advantage. She is just hands down faster and better than you at picking both fruits. There's no debate. And this brings us to the big, central puzzle. If she's better at everything, why on earth would she ever trade with you? It seems totally illogical, right? It feels like she has absolutely nothing to gain. Well, hold on, because this is where we unlock the incredible, almost magical power of trade. The answer isn't about who's the best overall. It's hidden in a little secret called comparative advantage. You see, the real secret here has nothing to do with absolute advantage. It all comes back to opportunity cost. The most important question isn't who can produce the most. It's who can produce something while giving up the least amount of something else. Okay, now check out this table because this is the big aha moment. For you to pick 1 pound of apples, you give up the chance to pick 1 pound of cherries. It's a simple one-to-one trade. But look at your neighbor. For her to pick 1 pound of apples, she has to give up picking 2 pounds of her valuable cherries. So even though she's faster at picking apples, the opportunity cost for her is actually higher than it is for you. And that is comparative advantage. You have the comparative advantage in picking apples because it costs you fewer cherries. And she, in turn, has the comparative advantage in cherries because it costs her way fewer apples. So what happens if you two decide to specialize? You focus only on apples, she focuses only on cherries, and then you trade. Just look at these results. Before, on your own, you had 8 pounds of apples and 12 of cherries. After trading, you have 10 and 15. And look at your neighbor. She also ends up with more of both. This isn't magic, it's just smart economics. Everybody wins. And that's the beautiful takeaway here. When people or companies or even whole countries stop trying to do everything and instead specialize in what they have a comparative advantage in, the total pie gets bigger. It is not a zero-sum game. Trade literally creates more for everyone. Now, what we just saw with you and your neighbor picking fruit, that's not just some clever little thought experiment. It's the engine that drives the entire global economy. Let's zoom out and see how millions of these small trades create one giant loop. This is a simplified map of the economy called the circular flow diagram. It shows this constant loop. We, as households, we provide our work, our labor, to firms. Those firms use our labor to make all the stuff we want and need. And then we use the money we earned from our jobs to buy that very stuff from those same firms. And the loop continues. So think about it. Every time you go to work, every time you buy a coffee, every time you get a paycheck, you're a part of this huge, interconnected system. And it's all built on countless individual trades, every single one driven by those core ideas of scarcity and advantage. Which brings us right back to the final and maybe the most important question of all. We've seen how this works for fruit pickers and giant companies, so the really crucial point is this. What's your comparative advantage? What is it that you can do or create or provide at a lower opportunity cost than others? Thinking about that might just be the most valuable thing you do all day.